I thought the SGA should have been the MVP. That's no disrespect to you.
Thank you, Shaq. We don't judge people here, so that's fine.
If Shaq if he'd had my work ethic, he'd have 40,000 points.
Man, you're way beneath me. Your whole demeanor is faker than new rapper beef.
The thing I could appreciate the most about 2024 is as a result of Drake beefing with Kendrick Lamar, it seems like everybody's at each other's necks trying to beef with each other. Nobody just wants to sit back and keep their negative opinions about other people to themselves, and for the most part it's very entertaining, I must admit, because now the latest two personalities to beef are amongst the most prominent in sports media. Shaq and Shannon Sharpe are going at each other, and the way it ends is absolute insanity. Before we get to the content, make sure you drop like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. Turned $25 into $225, $35 into $105 the night before, and now PrizePicks is giving us another free square. All Caitlin Clark needs is 1 point in her WNBA debut, and her square will hit. I give away all my picks for free on my Instagram story at TheFlightMike. You guys have been hitting me up in the DMs letting me know how well it's been going for you guys. And right now you'll get up to a $100 deposit match when you use my promo code FlightMike when you sign up for PrizePicks, or just click in the link in the description down below. And thank you, PrizePicks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Shaq needs no introduction. One of the most dominant centers in NBA history, one of my favorite players of all time, and an individual that had a larger than life personality. I mean, this man has done it all, from winning championships with Kobe Bryant, winning championships without Kobe Bryant, being friends with Biggie, playing in movies. Currently, he's also a dubstep DJ called DJ Diesel. You probably know him mostly for his appearance on Inside the NBA on TNT, one of the most entertaining basketball pregame, halftime, and postgame shows in the industry. There's one tiny little blip on Shaq's track record, and if there's one thing that's always been a knock on him, is it seems like he could just be a little bit insecure. I mean, if you say even the smallest thing about him, he'll come back at you 100 times more. And there are times where it's very evident, like how this beef with Shannon Sharpe started. So a few days ago, we found out that Nikola Jokic got named NBA MVP, and his third MVP in 4 seasons. Honestly, I think he should have won last year as well, but of course, voter fatigue is very much a thing. Now, this places Nikola Jokic in extremely elite company. I mean, there's only 8 other players that have won this award this many times. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Moses Malone, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Nikola Jokic has as many MVPs as LeBron James does, and it's even more impressive considering how this man entered the NBA. Y'all know Nikola Jokic famously got drafted in the middle of a Taco Bell commercial. You didn't even see him take the stage. He was the 41st pick in the second round of the 2014 NBA draft, and he's revolutionized the center positions. Prior to Nikola Jokic, centers were more or less a dead position in the NBA. And bear in mind, I'm a Los Angeles Laker fan. This guy has kicked our team's ass for the past 2 seasons. So what I'm trying to say is, in my opinion, I think this award is most definitely deserved. But Shaq felt a completely different way, and it's okay to feel a completely different way. But Shaq straight up told this to Nikola Jokic's face.
You know I love you, the best player in the league. I want to congratulate you, but I want you to hear from me first. I thought the SGA should have been the MVP. That's no disrespect to you, but congratulations. And what do you guys have to do to get back on track versus Minnesota?
Thank you, Shaq. We don't judge people here, so that's fine. It's your opinion. I'm joking.
No, hey, all good. I love you. I love your brothers. One thing we always going to do is keep it real with each other. Congratulations. I love you.
For real, I think.
Now look, man, I know there might be a decent amount of my followers that believe that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander deserved the MVP over Nikola Jokic, and that's a very fair take. That's 100% okay. We could disagree on MVP. There's very compelling arguments for both sides, and I'm fairly confident at one point or another Shai is going to win an MVP. But that's not what we're discussing or debating here. What we are debating here is the fact that there's no question about it. I think we're all on the same page. Shaq interviewing the NBA MVP and immediately telling him,
Hey, I'm sorry, but I don't think you deserve this award.
is crazy. I mean, it's fine if you say it to Ernie and Kenny on Inside the NBA. Saying it to Nikola Jokic's face right after he finds out that he won the MVP is crazy. And I think we could all agree with that. There's no reason to tell Nikola Jokic this information to his face. So this is where Shannon Sharpe gets involved. For those of you guys that don't know who Shannon Sharpe is, this man pretty much had Nikola Jokic's career for the tight end position in the NFL, but he didn't win the MVPs. Shannon Sharpe wasn't supposed to be as good as he ended up being. He was a 7th round pick in the 1990 NFL draft, played for the Denver Broncos and then the Baltimore Ravens. He won 3 Super Bowls, but he was a 4-time first team All-Pro, which is pretty much the same as saying he made it to the All-NBA first team 4 times. And he made it to the Pro Bowl 8 times, which is the equivalent of saying he was an 8-time NBA All-Star, and he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. An incredible career for an individual that got drafted so late. He leveraged that success and his charisma into creating a very successful media personality for himself, got his big break when he did Undisputed with Skip Bayless, and now currently has several podcasts and makes appearances on ESPN's First Take. As a matter of fact, ESPN just announced that they plan on extending Shannon Sharpe, and as they should. He's one of the top media personalities there is. So Shannon Sharpe responds to this entire situation, and it wasn't really the worst way. His take makes a lot of sense. Shaq has said multiple times throughout his career that he could have been way better if he tried. He admitted to the late great Kobe Bryant that the reason they weren't so great was because he would show up to work out of shape, and if he really locked in, there's no question that there's a chance that Shaq could have been considered the greatest basketball player in NBA history. But the work ethic wasn't really there because he was so dominant without having to put the work in. It was a huge point of contention between Shaq and Kobe Bryant, and even Shannon Sharpe brings this up.
We're never going to see another guy Shaq's size with his athleticism that was as dominant as him. Shaq should have 5 MVPs. He sees a guy like Nikola Jokic that's not as dominant as him and gets 3 and 4 years. But see, when you historically great, they talk about you as great basketball player, the GOAT, and Shaq is never brought up. And I think a part of him is envious of that.
When we talk about the greatest basketball players of all time as far as the GOAT conversation, Shaq's name is never brought up in that?
Yeah. It's hard for me to put somebody in the GOAT conversation with 1 MVP. Regular season. It's hard, Gil. So we're going to take somebody with 1 regular season MVP and put him in front of people that got 3, that got 4, that got 5. If Shaq would have had, if he'd had my work ethic, he'd have had 40,000 points.
Shannon Sharpe then would close out by saying that Shaq is probably annoyed at the fact that Nikola Jokic has 3 MVPs, whereas Shaq only has 1 regular season MVP. He has 3 NBA Finals MVPs, so he brought that up as well. And well, while it is a reasonable take, Shaq didn't really take too kindly to these words, because Shaq would respond in the most Shaq way ever. This man posted a video onto his Instagram saying NFL 100 Greatest ranks the top 100 characters in NFL history, and former Denver Broncos and Baltimore Ravens tight end Shannon Sharpe lands at number 51. He didn't stop there. Shaq would post a 20-page thesis as to why Shannon Sharpe needs to shut up, pretty much, saying, "You took me sticking up for Shay as jealousy. Shows how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicks. So here's some clickbait for you. If you ain't ranked in the top 10 in your profession, then you can't speak on me. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you at. Me jealous, LOL, sounds like you jealous. I know you're trying to stay relevant by gossiping on your podcast. We don't believe you. You need more people, and in case you forgot, 4 rings, 3 NBA Finals MVPs, top 50 and top 75. Google me, and to be frank, all this new success you got, you still under me. You don't know my work ethic, but according, I work less than you, but I'm worth more than you. Make it make sense. Love you too. If you need help making money, it's better ways than gossiping. I'm too old for this shit. Love always, the most dominant big man ever who never took it serious. Remember, I don't know you. And in the words of Skip Bayless, I'm better than you. G14 classification, I have it. You don't, not in my profession. And your GOAT debate, never wanted to be the GOAT. I wanted to be who you should greet me as the most dominant ever. Drake and Kendrick Lamar have people acting crazy. I think we could all agree on that. And I'm here for it. That's not all Shaq would say, by the way. Shaq would double down on this by saying, you gotta be top 10 in your profession before you speak on someone in their profession. And to be fair, in Shannon Sharpe's defense, it's very difficult to be top 10 in football. There's so many different positions. That means so much different to the game of football. It's a little bit easier to say who's top 10 in the NBA of all time than top 10 in the NFL of all time, because every position obviously has significantly different roles. And that's just me speaking objectively as a fan of both. Shannon Sharpe would respond to this on Nightcap saying this.
Not saying that I've never said I was the quitter, and I'm quick to say that when I talk about Kevin Durant or I talk about any player, I said I'm not the equivalent basketball player, but all I can do is maximize my ability.
Right.
Shaq know deep down, he could take all the shots. Yeah, you got more money. Yeah, you're more famous than me. Yeah, you're more well-known. You're gonna have way more money than I ever have. But nobody will ever say that I was lazy or I cheated myself.
But bro, Shaq would not go away. Shaq would then tweet this: the 50 Cent of the NBA will make his last response when he wakes up from his nap. Then I'm done with it. It is what it is. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Hashtag mixtape coming soon. Like I said, Drake and Kendrick Lamar have people acting crazy, man. Because the way this would conclude is with a Shaq diss track on Shannon Sharpe.
Man, you're way beneath me. Your whole demeanor is faker than new rapper beefy. You're soft. Before you get fly, you rather tweet me. I was in 3 different cars when you was in 3 feet. All I see is dollar signs. They come in 3D. Make it hot. Ain't no way around my degree. You are not in my spot, you are like a peewee. Shula got them calling me Rocky the way I reread. I get to the green bag, I don't mean a lawnmower. Jet flying, foreign driving, Best Buy and Donpora.
So let me know in the comment section down below, who do you think won this beef? I honestly think it's us. Personally, I expected Shaq to act the way Shaq typically does. And I think Shannon Sharpe is kind of going in the same route as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson currently is. You know, he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. He wants to be liked by the masses so more people could listen to his podcast, but he still wants to be personable. So I kind of expected this rivalry to go the way it went. But if Shaq ever feels like you're taking a dig at him, he's never gonna let you live it down. Let me know in the comment section down below who you think won this beef. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.